Hello out there in YouTube land. This is Barbie. I'm here to show you or share with you a flip that I just got through finishing this journal, and it was one I really did enjoy doing. It was different for me, considering the fact that it was working with different subject matters that I don't normally work with, and it proved to be a bit of a challenge, but it was a good thing because it stretched my imagination. So I was able to use, I had wanted to do something where I could use some of the boho beads I had made. And let me see if you can see. I think so. This is the one I chose. It's the little pink one with the pink owl on it. And it's got, as you can see, some of the eyelash string or I think it's called string on there. This is just a really pretty, what do you call it? One of those tie backs for your curtains, I think is what it is. Anyhow, I thought it looked good on there and went good with the fabric. And then this is a button. It's button/bead dangle. And it has a bunch of different things on it. Turquoise disc, a little, I'm going to pick this up. I don't want to get out of frame, so I've been, I don't think you can see it if I don't pick it up. Okay. This has some little wings on it, silver wings, and some other little silver beads, etc. It also has some buttons that I put on there. And those are 2 buttons, clear buttons. Some other little beads I had with some, this one is a really cool looking button. I put that on there, as well as some more turquoise, and it is real turquoise. And there's my little boho bead. Okay, and this is a button I sewed on there. And what I did is I just took one of those bulb pins. Excuse me, my voice is going. A bulb pin, and put it on there and looped it around the button so I could hook things to it. So it can be removed. You know, if you don't want that on there, it can be removed. This is a soft cover, my first soft cover I've made. I really had fun making it, and then I put some lace on it. I stitched the signatures in with the 3-hole stitch. And this, I named her Annie, because this is Annie Oakley. And if you know anything about our history here in the United States, she was a famous cowgirl. And she loved riding horses, and she won all kinds of medals for shooting and, well, you know what I'm saying, the Wild West stuff. So if you're not from the United States, you might not know who she was. So anyhow, I named it Annie in her honor. This is a little charm I got from my sweet sister, who has shared so much of her crafts with me. And it's a charm of Texas, which is where I'm from. So I thought that'd be cool to put on there. With a little Tim Holtz safety pin. Another charm I got from my sister. It's a gold leaf. It looks really pretty, I thought. It's kind of like a tag top or something. Then I put on these buttons, and these are vintage buttons. And this is a charm I had, which is sterling silver. And I believe that's jade on there. I know it's a real stone, but don't hold me to that one. Just use some different vintage lace and new laces. Let me see if I'm in frame here. Yeah, pretty close. Also, this is a bunch of dangles. I don't know if you can see those or not. And they dangle off from the bottom, because I hooked them to the end of the pages. The base of the front cover is a vintage handkerchief that I've had for a long time, and I've been wanting to use it because it is so pretty. The lace on here is just gorgeous, and I just didn't have exactly the right thing to use it on, so I'm really glad I got to use it. Okay, this is an attachment I did to attach the book together. This is a really chunky monkey book, as you can see. It's really fun. has so many different beads and charms, and vintage watch faces I did. The check beads, cut beads. That's what holds the book together. And then I hooked it over here with another charm. And over here I found this is actually for necklaces, but it works really good. It's a magnetic closure. And this is a Tim Holtz, some Tim Holtz, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a gear of some sort, and then an antique button with a little bee charm. So this just unlocks, flips up like so, and there is the magnet, and then it comes open like so. Like I said, it's a chunky monkey, to say the least. Okay, let's see if we can get started here and get this done. All right, let me check one more time, make sure I'm in frame. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, when I attached this, I used a vintage button and some wire in order to attach this and make sure it was on the fabric. I mean, it was all the way through the fabric. Oh, and forgot to mention, excuse me, I've never made one of these soft journals before, and I didn't know what to use exactly for the filling. And so I had been wanting to try to use some of the packing envelopes that has that kind of bubble wrap inside, and it worked perfectly. It gives the fabric some substance, and it's soft and it's kind of squishy. So I was real pleased that worked out great. I lined it with the muslin here, and I used some lace, some really pretty lace I had. Also, this right here, I was excited about getting this figured out. I had gotten some of the coin storage blanks, I think is what you call them. And I showed this on one of my other videos. And I wanted to put some dried flowers in there and start doing that sort of thing, but I didn't know exactly what to do. So anyhow, I used some washi tape, butterfly washi tape on there, some little rhinestone strip. This is a necklace clasp that I attached it to a safety pin. It has two sides to it. This is some dried flowers I just picked out of the yard and dried. They're little spring lupines, and a little bee with some vintage lace behind it. I really love how that turned out. So in here is a folder which I really love. It's the Iris Collection by After Midnight Design. She has an Etsy shop, and I will link all these different Etsy shops below of the stuff I used. This is some coffee dyed paper, and one of the basic designs I used, one of the primary designs I used, which is Gypsy Cowgirl by Calico Collage. Yes, I always forget that. I changed it up a bit. I cut this out up here at the top and slipped in a vintage photo I found online. Did a little bit of collage, some sari silk, and stitched around it, and just put the playing card on the back and a little butterfly, so you can journal on the back. And I slipped it in there to store it here. Okay. Now this right here is a page I made, and I wanted it to look a bit rustic, so I used some old jean fabric here and here, and made this little pocket. Put these little ladies in there. They're standing there with their guns and their cowboy hats on. It looks like don't fit their head. And it was just like so funny. Put a little sari silk on top. Put that in there for a good laugh. This is a Recollections I believe they were recipe cards. They had some lines or whatever on the back. Anyhow, I did some stitching on that and did a little bit of collage here. These are some of Tracy Fox Love Junk Journal labels. And this is some labels by Rachel Sarah Craft. I believe it's called Vintage Shabby Labels, which I've used off and on throughout. I tried to make sure that I had plenty journaling spaces. Got a little carried away with all of the tags, etc., but you know, what's new? That's what I do. I have so much fun doing the ephemera. Okay, this is a real vintage 1910 calendar that was on another calendar that I had, but the rest of the calendar was damaged, and this was not. This is a little journaling pocket, and I tried to do all of my little paper clips by turning them and making them where they don't snag when you pull them in and out. And this doesn't have anything in it. You can put whatever in there, a note, whatever. Thought I'd leave that up to whoever decides they want this. And I forget who this paper is, but I will put it on my list down at the bottom. Again, this is some turquoise dangle that I made. And I made this into a pocket, a top loading pocket. Some more of the vintage shabby labels. Put some fussy cut flowers on here, and I believe those are my porch print fussy cut flowers. This is a sweet picture. I couldn't help putting it in there. It's a I can't remember if this is a graphic fairy image or not, but if not, it's something I found online. And slide that in there. And these really pretty scrapbook papers are by 49 Market scrapbook pages. Thanks, Lisa. She was showing a haul she had made, and she showed these papers, and they're just beautiful papers, and you can just use them for a really good background paper. So I needed something like that, so thank you again, Lisa. And I'll put her site on my description. Okay, again, some more pictures I found online, some miscellaneous bits, collage. Again, same thing. This is some of my coffee dyed papers. This, again, is a belly band I made, just a collage, and I cut, like doing the Franken paper, and then I cut these out. Some labels. Here's another cute cowgirl. Made a little button snippet here and sewed across it, glued it on there, did a collage on the back, and then one of my pieces of, I don't know what they are and what they're used for, but anyhow, out of my stash, some more labeling on the back. And I used this little paper clip here just because with the weight of this, it tended to slide down into the crack here, and so I wanted it to stay put, and also use this sort of like a tab. So I just put that on there. This is a little digital I came up with, and playing around with the digis. Another one of the Gypsy Cowgirl images. One of the little labels, vintage shabby labels. Just something that I cut out. I believe that's a graphic fairy image that came off of one of the photo frames, I think it was. Okay, this little angular thing here that I decorated up is from G. Kerr's idea, and it's just one of my favorite things. I did a little video on that if you're interested in seeing how that's done. So this is attached here, and here's the cowgirl, and I suspect she was going to journal about these cowboys, her very good friends and guy partners that she might like. So here's a picture of her showing how she is a really true cowgirl, and I thought that image was so cute. I used a really different stitch around here. It kind of looks like the old stitching that they used to use on quilts back during this time. And some of my coffee dyed paper. It just tucks in like so. Again, a little snippet that I made. And this is one of the little flowers, the lupines, that I had picked out of the yard and dried. And I just did a little collage there, just to give it a little bit of interest. Again, one of the gypsy cowgirl images. This is from a book page. I wanted to bring some of nature in because, you know, back during that time, nature was a very important factor in life, in their lives, and that's why. And I thought it would add interest as well. I didn't want to get too monotonous on just using the gypsy cowgirl type information. So that's why I decided to use some of these really pretty bird images. I used this as an envelope flip. I did the collaging on the back, attached it to the page, and then I put a little card inside with the cute cowgirl, again, journaling on the back. And just some plain pages for journaling. I did a collage, page edge collage here, just from out of the scraps, my scraps. Some more of that. Another collage with a little bird. It says, "Hope is a thing with feathers." I love that. Another page edge collage, because some of these papers were kind of flimsy, and I didn't want them to be too flimsy, so that it would be stable enough that you could put pictures or whatever on it, or journal on it. This is a beautiful image I got from Graphics Fairy, and it's just real reminiscent of that time when there was so much having to do with nature, farm animals, how important all of this was in their lives. So I made a little pocket out of that and stitched around it. Again, there's another one of my little digitals for journaling. This is another manufacturers and imports. This is like a bill of sale, I think it was. Anyhow, I used some of Musings by Nikki. She has some beautiful sayings, and I just wanted to add a bit of that in there because of this time that we're all in, and how we need some inspirational reminders of how fortunate we are to live in the United States. And even though we're having to, you know, our lives are being a bit turned upside down, it could be a lot worse. And I think that we just need to thank our blessings and give thanks to the good Lord. So I love that, Nikki. Thank you. Again, this is the 49 Market scrapbook papers. And a little tag I made out of the vintage shabby labels. Blue jean fabric, the sunflower. This paper here is Spring. I believe it's called Spring Flowers by Rachel Sarah Craft. I will link it, her Digi or Etsy store at the bottom. This little snippet here is something that I learned how to do on what is the name of her shop? Carol's Journals. I believe that's it. No, Oak House Journals. That's it. And her name is Carol. Anyhow, I hope I got that right. I believe she'd saw it on Rocky Mountain Girl. I probably have that all wrong, but I'll put the right link down on the bottom. These are so cute, and they're done with fabric and a paper clip, which you can hang dangles off from. I didn't, because this is getting so fluffy that I didn't want any more bulk in here, so I didn't hang anything off of it, but I did on one further on out so you can see it. This is a scan I did. My friend, she was gifted some beautiful old calendars, and they were in like pristine condition. And she allowed me to scan it in. So this is it. This is the scan on one side. It's $18.99. And then on the back, it's got the astrological events and Hood Sarsaparilla calendar, family medicines prepared by C.I. Hood and Company, Lowell, Massachusetts, and information about Hood's tooth powder and all the different things they sell. Hood's pills, talks about what it does. Anyhow, it's really funny to read. I enjoyed that one. Again, it's just a little something I found online that pertained to the subject matter. A page edge I did with some felt better yarn that I got from her. Really beautiful stuff. A little bee I painted. Something I had and I just added rhinestones to it. I don't even know where I got it from, out of my stash. Again, a page edge. Now this is a one of those, I don't know what you call them, embellished paper clips. Anyhow, it's a paper clip. So I just decoupaged it up. Collaged it up and put some snippets, made a snippet out of it. A little bee in there. And I put it on here to give this page a little bit more stability because it's made out of handmade paper. And it's not as strong as some of the other ones, as far as this fabric tuck here was kind of, So I thought that it does a good job of holding that straight. This is a collage tag I made up. Beautiful butterfly. Again, from that Market 49 Market paper. And just some different collage elements. So that makes it tuck in there securely. Little collage I did, fussy cut flowers. Here's another paper clip I did and hung a little bird and a leaf, etc. on there. And I used that on there to hold this down because this is a journaling, it's a tag I did. Made a belly band. And it is just got some papers on there that I tore up. And I forget where the idea came from, the way she tore it up, but I will put her link down at the bottom. I should have wrote that down. That slipped me. That slipped my list. Anyhow, I wanted to put some more journaling spaces, so that's what that's for. And to keep that straight and to give the page edge a bit of interest, I thought this would go good on there, which this hangs off like so, the little bird. Let me check, make sure I'm even in frame. I don't want to have to do this again. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Another little fussy cut bird. This is some of Tracy's definitions. Nature definitions. Just a little tuck I put there on some coffee dyed paper. This is again just a tag I made. Put some buttons on it. Little what do you call it? You know what I'm saying? Ribbon. Okay. Another one of my little pictures I found online. So cute, the dogs and the horses. And since the basic subject of the book is cowgirls and horses, and I thought that was really cool there. And this is a page edge I did using my quilting foot, where you could just free quilt around, and I really like the way that turned out. I'll be doing some more of that. A little dangle I just got through making. This is a horse I got off of Graphic Fairy. I know that one. And just made a tag with some, again, the little sweet sayings from Nikki. And this is a vintage meter reading. It came out of my stash. I don't know where it came from, but it's an original piece. I thought this fit nice in there. It's just a definition of a flower, a little collaging going up here at the top to give it interest, sewed around it. Okay, this is a fold out. This is a center fold out that I wanted to be. It's in the very center of the book. And on the strings where you sew it in, I put the little owl, which is all this little stuff here I thought looked like his little nest, and he's sitting in his little nest. That's my take on it anyhow. This, I just got through seeing an idea similar to this when I was watching Firefly Studios 67 with Gina, and she had done something similar to this. I thought it was such a cute idea. Thanks, Gina. This is a little star that I put on there, and a chain that goes through the loop here. Then I did this. I don't know what you call those things, but you know what I mean. And it tucks right in there, and then this hangs down like for a decoration. So this is how it looks. It tucks back in there like so, and a little charm hangs down, and then you just tuck it in the pocket like so. I really like that idea. I'm going to be doing some more of that. I don't believe I've ever seen that one in particular. That was a new one for me. Did some collages down on the bottom of each one of these pockets, and I got to stand up and make sure that when I open this up that it's all in there, because this is so tall I can't see. Okay, I think that's you can see it. Okay. This was a map my son brought me. He's a pack rat just like me. So he works for the co-op here in our home area. And every now and then they throw out all of this paper and printer paper. I mean, like huge rolls of this stuff that they're just going to throw out. So he thought about maybe I could use it. And he brought it home to me. And it's really cool. It's maps of the area. So I coffee dyed it. And as you can see, it was bigger than I needed. So I decided to make it as a fold out in the middle for the book, and folded up the bottom to make pockets. And I thought it turned out really neat. It's my favorite thing in the whole book. This is Annie Oakley, and there's all of her awards she won, and her hat and everything, and she's got her star there. And down the bottom it says Annie Oakley. A little snippet with a button, and then I did a collage on the back just to give it a little bit of something different. And this one here, I don't know where I got it, but I just loved it. And I thought it gave it some nice interest as far as nature goes. Put a little collage fuzzy cut flower from one of my vintage books and put there just for some interest. And these are two of the really pretty gold leaves that my sister gave me, with some a bit of antique I don't know if you call it lace or tatting or what, but it was a vest, and it is just beautiful. Anyhow, that's a hunk of that. And then just some nature around an old tree, and you can journal on the back. And that closes in like so. And then this one here is another one of Calico Collage, Gypsy Cowgirl. And I made a dangle on it with sort of a cowgirl looking cross, Western cross. And these are some old cufflinks and a piece of turquoise. And I cut this across here and inserted this picture of this little girl who's looking in the mirror. And they took a very inventive photo. I don't know if it's vintage or not, but I got it off the web. Journaling on the back. Again, a fussy cut flower. and slides right in there like that. Flips up like so. There's another one of my little dried hydrangea buds that I put in there. Some seam binding I dyed and just hooked it on there. This is also, it was printed on coffee dyed paper, so it makes it look really old. And it's from the Spring Flower Collection that Rachel Sarah Crafts, I believe is what that is. This is a snippet that I made and I was telling you about. Here is the paper clip. And it's fabric looped over and made into a snippet. This is a little flower I made and put a green rhinestone in the middle with some lace there. Hung a little dangle on the curly part of the paper clip and put some seam binding on there, and it's glued to the page, so it makes a really neat page flip. This is just some cool fabric I had. Birds I cut out, fussy cut out. Again, part of the collection. Some of the fabric I dyed. I did a tutorial on that one if you're interested. And here is on, I don't know where I got this from. I think it's Graphic Fairy. But anyhow, this is a print. I got it out of one of my old books. It has pictures. Remember, it's stuff from like artists. This is an artist from France, I think. Corot, C-O-R-O-T. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, but anyhow, he's a famous European artist, and he does really beautiful landscapes. And it's kind of dark, but you get the idea. This, I don't remember where I got it from, but it's a beautiful picture of irises on a riverbank, and it made a really beautiful belly band for that. This is some coffee dyed paper I did, and you probably can't see it, but I put leaves in there and flower heads and different things, which they left the image of it there, which I really enjoyed. A beautiful little bird, fussy cut bird, that swallow, I believe it is, or a martin, one or the other. Coffee dyed paper. It's a page edge collage I did on some of that handmade paper. A little bird, again, a little page edge collage. Another tag with the vintage print on there, stitched all the way around it. Some more of Nikki's little sayings that she has, digital sayings, and pocket that I made with Rachel Sarah Craft Spring Flowers. A cute little lady here. The Belle of the Ranch is the name of it. So, yeah, she's the belle. This is one of the digis of antique letter, French letter, I believe it is. And this is a pocket on the back. I just didn't put anything in it. Stitched all around it. I stitched around most of the stuff, most of the things. This is a little bag I got something in. I don't know what it is, glassine bag. Here's some other cute little cowgirls. Another one of the vintage shabby labels. On the back is a part of a letter with the beautiful writing on it. Slips in there like so. Again, just a little tuck here. Some flowers, butterfly. This is another, a page out of the picture, out of one of the books I had. And the bird was painted, the rest of it was sketched in, so I painted the rest of the nest and everything. And it says, knowing yourself is true wisdom. Yeah. And just a little tab I put on there. And again, that's a page off of the kit, the Gypsy Cowgirl kit. Butterfly. I believe it's Tim Holtz butterflies. Another one of the digis. Fussy cut flowers, etc. Page edge, collage, coffee dyed paper. This I just made as thin as I could make it because I could see we were getting really chunky here. And it's just a little fold out from that Rachel Sarah Crafts digis, same digis as spring flowers. Little chicken and a cow. And again, I just used some coffee dyed paper in there for a little bit of a journaling spot. Let's put that on there and put it on it. What am I doing here? Oh, okay. Put a little dangle on there and some ribbon. Okay. Another one of the little cards. Put a cardinal on it. Thought that added a bit of fun color. Again, same digis, spring flowers. There's the big picture of the little lady who's looking in the mirror. And on the back, I did a collage with the flower and everything. And put in, and this is a love, and it has definition of love. Slips in there like so. I did a collage there. Here's a little Indian. This is a paper sack, and then I tea dyed, white paper sack I tea dyed. And again, this is a picture of Annie Oakley, and just a picture of the digis for some journaling spot there. Put in the paper sack. And this is a pocket, so it has a, oops, nope, that goes there. This is goes in the pocket, yeah. This is a picture of a city, which is from, let's see, what is the name of that? 149 City Streets, Far Mirage. And I made it like it was a postcard. And then on this side I did some collaging and put a little Nikki tag on there. Some flowers, etc. and lace. And put it in here. But it turned out cute. I love that city scene. I'm going to do I've got some digis on that, and I'm going to do oh, and there's a little dangle. It hangs on the lace at the bottom. And this was in this pocket right here. So, again, journaling spot. And I put a little button on there. And on the bulb pins. And that fits in here like so. And I want to leave it up at the top so it hangs out a bit. And this, again, is a butterfly. And this is a little card I make. I always put at the end of my journals. And there's my stamp showing that I was the one who made the journal. And goes right in like so. And here is the last pocket on the back. And again, I put the same little file folders. And it's lined with coffee dyed paper and a picture of a little cowgirl. And it fits in the pocket like so. And that is my chunky monkey journal I'm calling Annie. For anyone who might be interested, I'll be putting it in my Etsy shop. And hope you enjoyed the flip through. I really enjoyed making it. I put a lot of different ideas in here that I'd been wanting to do and try. So for me, it was one of the most fun journals I've made to date. And again, thanks for coming by and checking out my channel. Hope you come back and maybe subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the flip through. But until next time, this is Barbie saying goodbye and be safe and stay well.